Today I will tell you about the film, The Marksman. Katya, a pretty girl who lives with her grandfather, returns from school. Her grandfather, Ivan Fedorovich, plays chess with his friends in the courtyard of an apartment building. After winning the game, Ivan Fedorovich goes home to wait for his granddaughter for dinner. On the balcony of the same courtyard, three friends are smoking and drinking beer. Boris Chukhanov is a new Russian, a businessman who drives a BMW. Igor Zvorigin is a student and a playboy. And Vadim Pashyadin is the worthless son of a police colonel. The trio is overcome with desire for a woman, because today is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays they always have a girls' night. Just as the guys are about to leave in Chukhanov's BMW, he notices Katya in the courtyard. It turns out that Pashyadin knows her. They studied together, and he even tried to court her. Chukhanov, as the leader of the gang, sends his friends to pick up Katya. Pashyadin and Zvorigin persuade the girl to visit them. They tell her that it's Chukhanov's birthday and that Katya's company would brighten up the celebration. Reluctantly, Katya agrees to stop by for 5 minutes. In the apartment, the guys begin to fawn over the girl, offering her champagne and secretly adding vodka to it. Katya protests weakly, but does not want to offend the birthday boy. At some point, she realizes that the guys invited her over for a reason. Katya tries to leave, but they won't let her. Chukhanov throws the girl onto the bed. He forcibly tears off her clothes. Zvorigin actively helps his friend. Katya resists, fights, tries to scratch, but how can she cope with two strong guys? Pashyadin cowardly waits on the sidelines. The three of them take turns raping Katya. Then they send her home, putting $50 in her purse. The girl finds the money and throws it away in the yard. Zvorigin sees this and rushes down to collect the money. Katya's grandfather is waiting for her at home. He has no idea what has been done to his granddaughter. When he finds out, he grabs a meat cleaver and runs into the yard. On the way, he runs into the local police officer, Alexei. He has known Ivan Fedorovich for a long time and even babysat Katya when she was little. Ivan Fedorovich tells him what three monsters did to his granddaughter. Alexei acts immediately. He calls the police, goes to the rapist's house, and gets a signed confession from each of them. The police captain, who is acquainted with Alexei, is particularly eager to punish the rapist. He wants to put the three offenders in a detention cell with criminals for a day and tell them what they did to the child. However, the situation changes when the police colonel, Pashyadin's father, enters the apartment. The captain knows him from work. The colonel was called by neighbors who heard noise in the apartment. After figuring out what was going on, the colonel asks the captain not to send the trio to the station, where they will be put with criminals, but to send them to his office. The captain refuses, realizing that the rapists will be released from the office on the same day. Katya, meanwhile, cannot pull herself together. She feels even worse when she realizes that she has to go to the investigator to give testimony. What's more, everyone in the courtyard has found out about what happened. Worried about his granddaughter, Ivan Fedorovich asks a neighbor who is a doctor to examine Katya. She says that the girl will be fine. Ivan Fedorovich is distraught with grief. He persuades his granddaughter to go to the investigator and even goes with her for support. In the office, Katya is met with a less than friendly reception, to say the least. The investigator does not see any criminal offense. He insists that Katya offered herself and now wants to extort money from the three men or marry one of them. "I can't add anything to the case except your emotions," says the investigator. Realizing that the case will not be pursued and will not be heard in court, the heartbroken Katya goes home. The next day, returning from the store, Ivan Fedorovich sees the three rapists in the courtyard of his house. They are smug, insolent, and even try to taunt the old man. Deciding that he will not let this go, Ivan Fedorovich goes to the prosecutor, who, after reviewing the case, confirms the legality of the investigator's actions. Leaving the prosecutor's office, the old man says, "You'll pay. The time will come when you'll pay for everything, you bloodsuckers." Ivan Fedorovich realizes that there is nothing he can do. His granddaughter has been raped, and the scum who did it are happily walking free. He decides to take matters into his own hands. Ivan Fedorovich goes to the bank where his acquaintance works and asks him to give him $5,000. At first, his acquaintance refuses, but the old man offers him his house in the village in exchange. He explains that it is a profitable deal, because soon they will start building a highway nearby, and the plot of land on which the old house stands will be worth a lot of money. That's how Ivan Fedorovich got the money. Katya meets her grandfather at home. She tells him that the colonel, Pasyudin's father, came by and apologized, handing her an envelope. The envelope contained money. This makes her grandfather very angry. Ivan Fedorovich, beside himself with rage, grabs the envelope with the money, goes to the colonel, and throws it in his face. The old man has almost no patience left. One evening, while he was having dinner in the kitchen with his granddaughter, she told him that a friend from the neighboring house had come to visit. She asked her to look after her parrot while she was away for 3 weeks. Ivan Fedorovich sees this as a sign. He takes the keys and goes to his friend's apartment. From one window, he can clearly see the courtyard and the balcony, where 3 rapists are calmly smoking. Ivan Fedorovich realizes that he cannot delay any longer. He gets ready, takes a rake in a special bag with him, buys a ticket, and goes to Moscow. His granddaughter sees her grandfather off in bewilderment. He does not tell her anything. In the capital, the grandfather goes to the market, finds sellers of weapons, and buys a rifle. To do this, he had to ride with them in a car to a warehouse, where the old man tried out the weapon. It turned out that he was a very good shot. Ivan Fedorovich bought ammunition and a silencer for the rifle. So that no one would suspect anything, he put the weapon in a bag with the rake. Upon returning home, Ivan Fedorovich learns that his daughter, Katya's mother, has arrived. And she did not come alone, but with her new partner from Turkey. She transports goods in trunks and sells them in Russia. Now she urgently needs money to buy out a batch of goods that is stuck in another city. Katya's mother does not particularly comfort her daughter. She asks her to forget everything as soon as possible, but Katya is unable to forget such a thing. After talking to her daughter, Katya's mother starts to work on her father. She found out that he sold the house in the village and asks him for the money. When the old man says that he has no money now, she does not believe him and threatens to go to the colonel. He will pay up to get his son off the hook. Ivan Fedorovich cannot forgive her for this. He kicks his daughter and her partner out and throws away all their gifts. At night, when Katya falls asleep, Ivan Fedorovich takes a bag with tools and a rifle and carries it to a friend's apartment. Another Wednesday arrives. Ivan Fedorovich goes into the courtyard to chat with his friends and watch them play chess. There he notices the car of the 3 rapists and the men themselves going up to the apartment. He slips away unnoticed. In the heat of the game, no one notices how or where the old man disappeared. Ivan Fedorovich goes to the apartment where the rifle is already lying. He stands by the window and takes aim at Chukhanov. He is smoking on the balcony and would be an easy target. Then someone rings the doorbell. Ivan Fedorovich is startled, listens, and realizes that it is the landlady's visitors. The neighbor explains to the guests that no one is home. When the old man aims his rifle at the right window again, all 3 are already sitting at home, drinking champagne. At first, he wants to shoot Chukhanov, but then he notices Zverigin. He has spread his legs and is holding a bottle of champagne between them. Ivan Fedorovich takes aim and fires. The bottle explodes from the bullet, and Zverigin's crotch is flooded with blood. He screams wildly. His friends call an ambulance for him. Meanwhile, the old man picks up the spent shell casing, puts everything back in its place, and hides the rifle in the closet. He hurriedly walks back to the courtyard by a shortcut, throwing away the shell casing as he goes. When Zverigin is carried out on a stretcher, Ivan Fedorovich is already with his friends. The colonel, Pasyudin's father, examines the room where Zverigin's genitals were shot off. He calls in his specialists to find out the cause of the incident. It turns out that a bullet caused the bottle to explode. The colonel tries to find out from his son if the trio had any enemies, but he denies it. Local police officer Alexei, intrigued by Zverigin's unusual injury, suspects that the shot was fired from the house opposite. He also decides to get to the bottom of things. The following Wednesday, Chukhanov arrives in his BMW. Ivan Fedorovich sees this and almost runs to his sniper position. This time, the old man does not want to shoot the rapist. Waiting until he gets into the car, the old man fires a bullet into the gas tank, the car explodes, and Chukhanov flies out of it, engulfed in flames. At the hospital, it turns out that his legs, back, and everything that hung carelessly between his legs are burned. Pashyadin's father is on the alert here too. He finds out that the BMW exploded from a bullet. A bullet hole was found in the gas tank cap. When he gets home, the colonel tells his son that his friends are being shot. Together, they realize that this is punishment for the trio raping Katya. Pashyadin's son, realizing that he is next, hides at home in panic and always keeps a gun with him. Your greatness has grown in one place. They will soon tear it away, his father tells him. Alexei also begins to suspect Ivan Fedorovich. He visits his home when he has gone to the store, and Alexei notices the keys to his grandfather's apartment and quietly takes them, promising to return in 20 minutes. To save his son, the colonel asks a colleague to assign him detectives and goes with them to search Ivan Fedorovich's apartment. He finds no weapons, ammunition, or any other prohibited items there. Then Ivan Fedorovich's acquaintance arrives to pick up the keys. Pashyadin Sr. figures out what is going on. He takes the keys and goes to the apartment where the weapons are hidden. However, a thorough search yields nothing. Then the colonel decides to talk directly to Ivan Fedorovich. He threatens to punish him if anything happens to his son. Ivan Fedorovich casually mentions that he realized too late that something had already happened to his son. In a panic, Pashyadin's father leaves for home. After that, Ivan Fedorovich adds, of course it happened, since his son became a rapist. On his way home, Pashyadin Sr. imagines his son dead or lying in a pool of blood with his farm shot to pieces. He does not yet know that his son, maddened by fear, has barricaded himself in the apartment with a gun. The colonel tries to break down the door, but nothing works. Then he shoots at the lock with his service weapon and gets a bullet in the stomach through the door in return. Pashyadin's assistants break in and find the colonel's son in the kitchen with a gun in his hands. He laughs strangely and is clearly out of his mind. They call an ambulance and ask for a psychiatrist to be sent. Ivan Fedorovich calmly walks home after the search. On the way, Alexei calls out to him. He says that it is not good to leave tools lying around. The old man realizes that it was the local police officer who found the rifle first and took it for himself. After thanking the young man, Ivan Fedorovich leaves. His granddaughter is waiting for him at home. After the search, she also realized that all these accidental injuries to her rapists were not accidental at all. She understands that their actions did not go unpunished. Upon entering the apartment, Ivan Fedorovich hears his granddaughter singing. She hadn't sung in so long that he thought the girl was gone for good. But as he listens to the melodious song, he realizes that all is not lost. Tears well up in the old man's eyes. That's where the movie ends. Thanks, everyone, for watching.